In the vast expanse of nature, there exists a fascinating interconnectedness between all living things. This interconnectedness forms the foundation of ecosystems, where every organism, no matter how big or small, plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of life. This interconnectedness, the transfer of energy from one organism to another, is best understood through the concepts of food chains and food pyramids. These models are not just scientific abstractions, they are the very essence of how life sustains itself on our planet. Food chains and food pyramids help us understand who eats whom in an ecosystem. They provide a clear picture of the predator-prey relationships and the flow of energy that sustains life. They illustrate the delicate balance that exists within nature's grand design. Every link in the chain, every level of the pyramid is vital for the health and stability of the ecosystem. Food chains are linear sequences. They show a direct path of energy flow from one organism to the next, starting with producers and moving up to various levels of consumers. They show how energy flows from one organism to the next. For example, a plant absorbs sunlight and converts it into energy through photosynthesis. This energy is then transferred to a herbivore that eats the plant, and subsequently to a carnivore that preys on the herbivore. Imagine a simple line. It starts with a plant and ends with a top predator. This linear progression is easy to understand, but represents only a small part of the complex web of life. Food pyramids, on the other hand, offer a broader perspective. They provide a more comprehensive view of the ecosystem by showing the different levels of energy and biomass distribution. They depict the flow of energy and biomass across different levels in an ecosystem. The base of the pyramid represents the producers, usually plants, which have the most energy. As you move up the pyramid, the energy decreases, with top predators at the apex having the least energy. Both food chains and pyramids are essential tools. They help scientists and researchers understand the dynamics of ecosystems and the relationships between different organisms. They help us comprehend the intricate workings of ecosystems. By studying these models, we can predict how changes in one part of the ecosystem might affect the whole system. They reveal the interdependence of life on Earth. Every species, whether plant, animal, or microorganism, depends on others for survival. This interdependence is what makes ecosystems resilient and capable of adapting to changes. By understanding these concepts, we gain a deeper appreciation for the natural world and our place within it. We realize that our actions can have far-reaching impacts on the environment. And we become more mindful of the need to protect and preserve the delicate balance of life on Earth. A food chain is like a chain reaction. It has several links, each one crucial to the overall structure and function of the ecosystem. Just as a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, the health of an ecosystem depends on the strength and balance of its food chain. Each link represents a different trophic level, which is a step in the food chain where organisms share the same function in the food web and the same nutritional relationship to the primary sources of energy. Trophic levels categorize organisms based on their feeding behavior and their role in the flow of energy through the ecosystem. These levels include producers, consumers, and decomposers. At the base of the food chain are the producers. These are the organisms that create their own food using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide through a process called photosynthesis. Producers are like nature's chefs, whipping up energy-rich meals that fuel the entire ecosystem. Without them, the food chain would collapse. They make their own food by converting sunlight into chemical energy, which is stored in the form of glucose. This process not only sustains the producers themselves, but also provides energy for other organisms in the food chain. Plants and algae are prime examples of producers. They form the foundation of the food chain, supporting all other life forms in the ecosystem. They use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to make their own food through photosynthesis. This process is vital for the survival of the ecosystem. Next come the consumers, who depend on producers for their energy. Consumers are the eaters of the chain. They cannot make their own food and must rely on other organisms for their energy and nutritional needs. They cannot make their own food. Consumers are divided into different categories based on their diet and position in the food chain. They rely on other organisms for energy. Herbivores are primary consumers. They eat plants and are the first level of consumers in the food chain. Carnivores are secondary consumers. They eat herbivores and are higher up in the food chain. There are also tertiary consumers, which are carnivores that eat other carnivores, and omnivores, which eat both plants and animals. Each level plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Energy flows through a food chain in a one-way direction. It starts with the sun. The sun provides energy for producers to make food. When a herbivore eats a plant, it obtains some of that energy. When a carnivore eats a herbivore, the energy is transferred again. Not all of the energy is passed on. Some energy is lost as heat at each level. This is why food chains don't go on forever. There is less energy available at the top. A food pyramid is a graphical representation. It shows the biomass or energy flow in an ecosystem. The base is wide. This represents the producers. They are the most abundant. As you move up the pyramid, each level gets smaller. This shows that there is less biomass and energy available at higher trophic levels. The pyramid shape reflects the energy flow. Less energy reaches the top predators. This is because energy is lost as heat at each level. Food pyramids help us visualize the interconnectedness of life. They emphasize the importance of a healthy base of producers. Section 5. Spotting the differences food chains versus food pyramids. Food chains and food pyramids are both models that ecologists use to understand the intricate workings of ecosystems. They help us visualize how energy and nutrients move through different habitats, from the smallest plants to the largest predators. But they have key differences that are crucial for understanding the dynamics of nature. A food chain is linear, representing a straightforward pathway of energy flow from one organism to another. It shows a single pathway of energy flow, illustrating a direct line of who eats whom in a specific sequence. On the other hand, a food pyramid is more complex. It shows multiple interconnected food chains, forming a web of relationships. Food chains emphasize feeding relationships, focusing on the direct interactions between predators and their prey. They highlight who eats whom, providing a clear picture of the predator-prey dynamics in an ecosystem. Food pyramids, however, emphasize energy flow and biomass distribution across different trophic levels. They show the amount of energy at each trophic level, from producers at the base to top predators at the apex. Both models are simplifications of real ecosystems, providing a basic framework to understand ecological interactions. They are useful tools for understanding basic ecological concepts, such as energy transfer, nutrient cycling, and the roles of different organisms. However, they do not capture the full complexity of nature. Real ecosystems are far more intricate, with countless interactions and variables. Scientists use these models as starting points, but they also rely on detailed field studies and advanced technologies to gain a deeper understanding of ecological systems. Over time, ecological models have evolved, becoming more sophisticated and better at representing the complexities of nature. By studying both food chains and food pyramids, we can appreciate the delicate balance of life and the importance of each species in maintaining ecosystem health. Understanding these models helps us make informed decisions about conservation and the sustainable management of natural resources. In conclusion, while food chains and food pyramids are simplified representations, they are invaluable tools in the study of ecology. They provide a foundation for exploring the intricate and beautiful web of life that sustains our planet. Section 6, from grass to lion, a real-world example of a food chain. Imagine the African savanna. The sun beats down on a field of grass. This grass is our producer. A zebra grazes on the grass. This zebra is our primary consumer, a herbivore. A lion, the apex predator, stalks and hunts the zebra. The lion is the secondary consumer, a carnivore. The energy from the sun captured by the grass has now flowed to the lion. This is a simplified food chain. It shows how energy moves from one living thing to another. Section 7, the ocean's pyramid. A look at a marine food pyramid. Let's dive into the ocean. Microscopic phytoplankton float near the surface. They are the producers, harnessing sunlight to make food. Tiny zooplankton graze on the phytoplankton. They are the primary consumers. Small fish like herring eat the zooplankton. They are secondary consumers. Larger predatory fish like tuna hunt and eat the herring. Sharks at the top of the pyramid prey on the tuna. This marine food pyramid shows how energy flows from tiny organisms to powerful predators in the ocean depths. Section 8. Maintaining the balance. The importance of food chains and pyramids. Food chains and pyramids are not just academic concepts, they represent the delicate balance of nature. They show how interconnected life is. Each organism plays a vital role. Imagine a food chain where one link disappears. The entire chain is affected. If a key prey species declines, predators that rely on it will also suffer. If a predator is removed, prey populations may explode, putting pressure on other resources. Understanding food chains and pyramids helps us appreciate the complexity of ecosystems. It highlights the need for conservation. Section 9. Interconnected web. Understanding the complexity of ecosystems. In reality, ecosystems are much more complex than simple chains or pyramids. Organisms rarely rely on a single food source. They are part of a vast and interconnected food web. A food web is a network of interconnected food chains. It shows the complex feeding relationships within an ecosystem. For example, a rabbit might eat grass and clover. A fox might eat rabbits, mice and birds. Food webs provide a more realistic view of how energy flows through an ecosystem. They highlight the interdependence of species. Section 10. Human impact. Our role in the food chain and its consequences. Humans are part of the food web too. We are consumers relying on other organisms for food. However, our actions can have significant impacts on food chains and pyramids. Overfishing, habitat destruction and pollution can disrupt delicate ecological balances. These actions can lead to the decline or extinction of species. This can have cascading effects throughout the food web. It is essential that we understand our impact on the environment. We must make responsible choices to protect the delicate balance of nature. Section 11. Conservation efforts. Protecting our planet's delicate balance. Recognizing the importance of food chains and pyramids, conservation efforts are crucial to protect biodiversity and maintain ecological balance. Establishing protected areas such as national parks and marine reserves helps safeguard habitats and species. Sustainable fishing practices ensure that fish populations remain healthy and don't collapse. Reducing pollution and combating climate change are essential to preserving the health of ecosystems worldwide. By protecting the intricate web of life, we ensure the well-being of both present and future generations. Now let's check your understanding about the food chain and food pyramid. Are you ready? Question number 1. Which is the producer in the food chain? Answer: plants and other organisms capable of photosynthesis. 2. Which is primary consumer? Answer: insects and animals that feed on plants. 3. How is energy being transferred from one organism to another? Answer: energy is transferred when a consumer eats the producers, then that consumer is eaten again by another organism. Did you answer them correctly? If yes, congratulations. If not, try to watch again, but this time watch it slowly. Like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you on our next exploration on this wonderful planet.